I now invite Dr. Subhash Chandra Parija, Vice Chancellor of Sri Balaji Vidya Peeth, to kindly come on the stage and address the audience.
Speakers for this program, participants, and award winners. At the outset, I take this opportunity to thank profusely the Brainfeed for giving me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts on research ecosystem that can be achieved by a collate of competencies to partnerships. When I think of this research ecosystems, we come from a background of this university, Sri Balaji Vidya Peeth. It's a health science university, one of the top 50 health science universities in India, which have 2 medical colleges in campus, 1 dental college, 1 nursing college, allied health sciences, and above all, 1 center for music therapy, 1 center for yoga therapy, and CIDRF, uniqueness of our institutes. Our university, when we think of in the background of this health sciences, the components of health sciences is undergoing rapid change. When I was a student, medical student, did my MBBS in 1970s. There the main thrust was the patient care. Some on academics and very less on research. But in the 21st century, the health science concept, curriculum and attitude is changing drastically. There is a strong component of a research ecosystem that needs to be built in a health sciences, whether you deliver MBBS, postgraduate like MDMS or DMMCH, or in health sciences across dental, nursing, other curriculums. This is because the health sciences delivery system, which was earlier on a skill-based, individualist-based domain, now is becoming a technology-based domain. Most of the diagnosis, patient care you will experience it depends on the evidences, either laboratory or on the high quality of expensive gadgets like CT, MRI, ultrasound and so on. So to do that, there is absolute need to have a system that will help us to make our people, make our students, both undergraduate and postgraduates, to adopt a system, to make some changes in the system and diagnostic methods or technology that will benefit the patients. That is the main objectives of the research ecosystem in health sciences scenario. When we think of a research ecosystem in conventional institute, the medical colleges, what we usually think, it could be a funding by the institute, or sometimes funding by the founders of the institute, or some grants from the ICMR and other institutes. But now that is not enough to build a competency or a good system, ecosystems in a medical college. For that we need a change in the attitude by having a collate of competencies. When we think of competencies, there are many competencies. Competency of governance, that is ability to function in a governance or accountabilities. Competency for establish a process to identify and evaluate innovative practices that can be adopted in academics as well as research. Financial competencies to develop and implement the budget to achieve institution strategic goals, and the most important is strategic planning to develop and implement an effective strategic plan that supports the mission and vision that have a research strong or research good value in our medical institutes. When you think of that, the most important thing is that to have a competency, I call it professional development, to identify professional goals for career developments. A graduate or a postgraduate, when entering a professional career in medicine or in academics, has certain definite achievable goals how to achieve. And all things, either your academic goal or research goal or care through the partnership in the health delivery systems, partnership is the most important component that we are going to evaluate. Partnership among stakeholders is essential because there are a lot of essential stakeholders through which a medical university or a health institute should be connected with. Working in isolations won't serve to achieve the proper ecosystem in healthcare delivery system or in research systems. For example, our university is trying, or that is the way outside also, to have partnership among the different stakeholders like corporates or industries who can collaborate, or government who can fund various research activities, or private universities or faculties and administrative students who can join together to deliver a desirable goal in defined outcomes of the research. So there are different types of partnerships. One is market-driven partnerships, multidisciplinary partnership. When you think of multidisciplinary partnerships in a medical science background, partnership with clinicians, to basic scientists, and to the field scientists. And the public partnerships in a system in which we derive funds or we draw funds being granted by the publics, and faculty university partnership. Because in any university, including health science university, it is the humans, it is the manpower that is the most important strong component. If we build strongly the manpower, that is faculties, then faculty and university partnership gives a good result. For example, we will see in a system about this private and public partnership is an excellent mechanism. This mechanism is very strong in a government-funded institutions. In government-funded institutions, funding comes directly from the government, and the system also encourages with other private to derive and to carry out various grants and programs. But in a program in a privately funded universities, the funding is an issue, because before anybody starts to give a fund, they try to evaluate the qualitative mechanisms that is operating in any university that can utilize the fund properly. But in our universities, we have tried a system in which we have tried to create a center of excellence. For example, Center for Animal Research, Training and Services, small animal research facilities for preclinical toxicology, in collaboration with the Department of Biotechnology. It's a government institute. I give this example to exemplify that a university, even a private, can encourage their faculties for government partnership to draw funds from the government institutions to enhance their research. And second is multidisciplinary partnership. Establishment of regional and science technology parks, industry-oriented entrepreneurship cells, startup, incubator, university and startup incubations. I think this is the main component which is driving all the ethos, visions and principle of health sciences in university. Because as our Honorable Prime Minister Modi has told, emphasizing Make in India component. When we think of Make in India component, you see we are using in our institutes, healthcare setups in India, a wide range of instruments, a wide range of diagnostic kits which are imported. In the process, we are spending millions of rupees by spending on these instruments and reagents and the cost of which are being passed on to the customers, that is the patients. So to avoid that, there is a strong need to develop the indigenous technology, to develop the indigenous kits, develop indigenous diagnostic mechanisms that will keep the cost effective and that will make the accessibility of the poor people from this rural population to access this high sophisticated tests. And second, about this public-private partnership, universities and academic research institutes are the epicenters of innovations, adding value in terms of return on investors. And that can be done by copyrights and patents. When we think of less number of innovations, industry productions in India, this is because due to lack of interest in the patents, because patents are most important to arrive and to use that patent for successful commercializations. In this progress, we have been successful in inculcating the spirit of patent and copyright in our universities and have a unique number of 34 patents, which is very high compared to health science universities. And then when we have got the patents, now the next step is to transfer this patent, to transfer these technologies to the industries. They can produce the technologies and kits locally so that it should be very economical and cheaper. For example, in this method we have transferred 3 technology transfer. One example I'll give you, DuoSense optic hairwear. This one is lens which is extensively used for the people suffering from dry eye syndrome. Dry eye syndrome is a common problem. 20 to 30% people in India suffer from the disease because of many factors. One of the factors because being exposed to the computers. And we do have a system in this dry eye syndrome. The traditional method is used to some medicines, but that's not effective. And this dry eye syndrome affects the quality of life very much. In the system now, some imported kits are available from South Korea, which cost around 600 or 700 rupees per pair of lenses. Now, what we have devised, we have got a patent and we have evaluated the system, which can be, we have to transfer the technology to an industrialist in Chennai, which are going to come out this product, and if it comes to the market, it will be like 200 or 400 rupees. I give this example to illustrate the fact. If you indigenize your product, if you transfer your patent and technology to the products, to the local indigenous vendors, they will come out with products that will have a great saving to the patients and their relatives who are using expensive imported from outside. And second, another component which we have transferred is the universal back resting device. This is a common component being imported, but we have used this method with the indigenous method that is about 1/10 of a cost that is available in the market. Then third one is the around the Sony spreading being used in the dental practice. So these are some of the examples which are illustrated here to convey the fact there is a need for a strong component of research, innovations in the curriculum of the health sciences beyond medical, dental or nursing sciences. That will make the young minds active to think for these innovation practices, to think for this creation of the patents, to think how to channelize their energy to transfer these patents to the industries for use at the public at a very less expensive prices. Then another component that's most important is multi-institutional partnership. Industry has strength to forecast the market risk. Application of basic research can be translated with industry partnership. That is grossly lacking in the professional university like medical science. In the medical science, at the moment, the situation stands. All faculties and all of us are comfortable with patient care. Okay, that's the most important 4 factors. We are inculcating. In case of patient care, we are trying to inculcate the habit of human touch, care with patient, care with sensitivity, care with sensitivity, so that the patients and relatives, when they come to a doctor, they feel comfortable. But now the main problem, because of many factors, that human component is missing, and that is the way in our university we are inculcating that habit. Unfortunately now, National Medical Commission has come out with development of the soft skills to inculcate these habits. And in another thing, research and development is one of the rich areas where government, academics and industries together can join hands to come out with successful kits and successful models that can be used at a very less economical and inexpensive ways for the common people. Because it is, after all, in the healthcare sector, you will understand, the patient not only pays for the consultancy, but the patient pays for all the gadgets. So to conclude, for this partnership, also the faculty-university partnership, in which I mean faculties are the manpower which are the greatest strength of any universities. We must mentor the faculties, we must motivate them, we must show them the ways how to energize the industry partnership for development of the products. And in conclusion, when this health sciences is changing drastically, that was practiced in 20th century to 21st century, being focused more on the translational research. In this translational research, we should revisit the curriculum, the functioning, and the operational attitude to start a system that will lead to a sustainable health research ecosystem. We should be able to balance improved healthcare research by providing competency through partnerships. Thank you very much for your patience here.